Good evening, everybody. This is Vonda Evans. What's up? Listen, I have been busy today. Almost did not make it, but I'm glad that I did. My dog woke me up barking at the raccoon, so thank God for that. I had just been very, very busy. Started my day going to a 10-year event involving a young lady, Jada Rankin, that unfortunately had lost her life. And there was a park that had been named in her honor, and started off there, ended up at New Way Christian Center this evening. Then I came in, I took a little nap, okay, and I heard all this barking, and I looked up, and my dog was chasing the raccoon. So that broke me up. That woke me up. Today I want to talk about how red flags become deal breakers. Okay, I'm talking about that. Let's see who we got. Anybody we got in? Let me know where you were from. So, obviously, I'm gonna wait till people start coming in a little bit, but I am glad that I was able to come on. But one of the things that I think, you hear about all of these. Okay, Natalie from Chicago, what's up, lady? Come on in. Let me shout y'all out. It was worth me getting up to get to Chicago. How's the weather there? It's kind of cooling down. Oh, let me tell you, I got an $893 light bill using the air like it was crazy. I am on fans only, okay? I am sorry. DTE is not going to get me. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. My air is old, so I needed these booster fans, and they work like a charm, but they run up electricity. So I was like, I will not be using them no more. I just can't do that. Not on $893, baby. LaShawn Neal, I listen. I'm just gonna be hot. I was walking around. Here was 90 degrees and sweatshirts, and listen. Let me tell you something. It was so cool. It was 60, 69 degrees, and I was just loving it till I had to pay the cost. And now I am like, is there an error here? Would you want us to send somebody out for a reading? I was like, no, because they come out with a reading and it be sky high, sky more expensive. So I was like, no, you stay on home. So I got to get on a plan. I can't go out to eat no more. I had to stay home with the fans. Okay, that's it. Now I will cut up a little bit just to get the house, we're supposed to be, but I cannot leave it on. I cannot leave it on. No, I cannot do that. So as people come in, I'm just gonna say their name. My AC broke and I had to get a hotel room. Let me say this to you, LaShonda, and this is for real 100. At the age I am now, I gotta have some. In the winter, I gotta have some heat. In the summer, I gotta have some cold. Some things just deal breakers. Okay, I just cannot be in no extreme temperature. I ain't gonna be real cold and I ain't gonna be real hot. I'm just not. I know. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. Hey, it is what it is. But let me jump right into this. How red flags become deal breakers in the end. So many times in situations, because women, especially busy women, you don't have time to put a lot of emphasis in dating. You're trying to run your business, go to school, raise your children. So you really don't have the opportunity to get a matchmaker. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? on one hand, it is a limited number of men. On the other hand, you're real busy. And so many times, our, discernment that is straight up from the Lord, it'll tell us, you know what, slow your roll with this one. But our carnal side says, well, there's some redeeming factors about him, and I can maybe overlook it. And as time grows, goes on, you would assume that a person would kind of stop doing what they do that's, annoying. But guess what? They keep going. And after a period of time, as you grow, which you have a right to do, you begin to say, you know what? This is too much. Now, you got to be careful, because the enemy will always have you to focus in on the 10%. Everything else straight. Person is a good provider, a good friend, a good listener, a good dad, but they're off by 10%. And the enemy will say, well, it's not perfect. You will never have perfection when you are dealing with a whole nother different human being. You will not have perfection. It's ridiculous. Okay? I'm not talking about things that in time, can be corrected. I'm talking about the things that are real deal breakers. And let me tell you what those are. Abuse. Anytime a person engages in warfare against you, hey, Tracy, psychologically and physically, that's a deal breaker. But let's talk about psychologically. I was doing a live and girl said, I just got my LPN license. And her boyfriend said, what's that mean? The lowest paid nurse? Always comparing you with someone else. Your friends, such and such and such, they looking good in their outfit. You looking a little chubby there. Always trying to maybe make you feel bad. Well, my ex-girlfriend, she stayed in shape. She don't have a wrinkle. She got a wrinkle. She don't have no love, making you feel bad about who you are. And after a while, you begin to feel bad about who you are. You begin to say, I need to change my appearance for them. I want to get maybe a facelift. If you want to do it for yourself, that's cool. But you're doing it for somebody else. I need to, get some weave, because his last girlfriend had long hair and he liked long hair, and I'm gonna do that. Or I'm gonna get my body done because he said he like, around or behind, and I got a flat pancake, so I'm gonna do this for him. And what you begin to do is to change who you are. I remember many years ago, there was a woman. She was a doctor, and her husband was a doctor, and they had children, and he was in an affair. And she found out how the woman looked, and she tried to look like the woman. The woman had blonde hair. She dyed her hair blonde. The woman had big boobs. She got her boobs done. She tried to emulate or imitate this woman. She followed him, confronted him, ran him over, and killed him with her Mercedes. Okay? She went to prison, and he died. Those things I can lead to that, the comparison. You see what I'm saying? Men be flat out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not attracted to you anymore. You know what I'm saying? And, then women get to, trying to see what the other woman look like, and I'm gonna become her, and you know what I'm saying? I'm a because that's what he like, and you losing yourself. You are trading in who you are so somebody else will like you. And let me say this to you. I would rather a man hate me than for me to hate myself. Because let me tell you something, the dentist from Clear Lake, Texas, and she in prison. Let me say this to you. Comparison is a thief of joy. When you start comparing yourself, or someone even introduces that idea to you, okay, and you then take the bait. Oh, I'm gonna take the bait. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to allow that person's opinion to destroy who you are. I cannot. What we eating today? Take out. My last woman, she used to cook straight up homemade. You know, always comparing, putting you down, the silent treat, making you feel bad about yourself. Because let me tell you something. Emotional and psychological warfare is real. REAL. Okay? It can damage you for years. That person long gone, damaging somebody else, and you still around here dealing with the remnant of what that person did. Let me say this to you. The minute they want to start talking about some ex-girlfriends, they want to start comparing you, you know, slicky, you know, yeah, I like that outfit. If you just, that'll be sharp. That's what is that, an 8? You will look good in a 12. Little slick, bye-bye. Let me say this to you. When a person is allowed to damage your psyche, how you see yourself, that's hard to come back from, because then you start buying into that. Yeah, I'm too fat. I'm too old, baby. Let me tell you something. You are a queen. God created you the way you are. If you got a couple pounds on you, so what? Love you the way you are. Stop allowing people to always wound you psychologically, okay, mentally, and then hide. And then what it does is it makes you start to think badly about yourself. And this could be for men and women. When you start to see that, you have to be able to say, you know what? I no longer can do it. I'm not going to engage in that. But especially, I'm not going to be in warfare with somebody I love. I'm not going to be sleeping with the enemy, not knowing from one day to the next what you going to say, how disrespectful you going to be, what you going to pop off and say. And it's making me feel bad about who I am, because for some reason, you don't like me. Many times you don't like yourself. So as a result of me loving me, I'm going to make you feel bad about you. The devil is a liar. You no, nobody. You're not going to do that. And so what you have to do is you got to sit back and you got to stop overlooking stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta stop over. Oh, that's just his way. Yeah, you know, it was a man that came before me, and it was an allegation of domestic abuse. He said, "Yeah, I had my liquid courage." That was his liquor. My liquid courage. What is liquid courage? That's when people get to drinking and say what they want. Oh, I'm blaming on alcohol. No, 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 no. Let's say that that's how you feel. You are not designed to be a punching bag psychologically for anybody. You know, God don't want that. God do not want that. Girl, I seen you on your live. Oh, you was looking so good. But girl, you getting them bags under your eyes like your mama. You need to Excuse me. Yeah, you got them black circles under your eyes, and you need to but you still look. I love what you said. You know what I'm saying? But now all things, I'm trying to, we iron sharpen iron, and somebody got nerves to say something like that. My girl, but you was doing good. Block. I'm not even going to respond. Shots fired. I'm sorry. Because you have to protect your psyche from those people who are closest to you. But sleeping with the enemy? Oh, no. No. Because that person understands that you may be vulnerable. And many times it's something about you they've been not liking. They just don't like you. And you become the object of their disdain. Whatever they can say or do to put you down. Always got something slick to say. Always complaining. Let me say this to you. I'm like Christina Johnson, baby, let me tell you something. You go on with that. I don't have time to entertain that. Right now, there are many things in life I cannot control. I can't control if I'm going to get an illness. I can't control if I'm going to get clients. Hell, I can't control if I get in a car accident. But the things that God has allowed me to control, oh, baby. Listen, if it's not bringing me peace, I'm not even entertaining it. I don't care if you're related to me. You're my mama, my daddy, my kids, my grandkids. I do not care. I am not sharing space with anything or anyone that is going to make me self-conscious about me psychologically. I'm not going to share that space. I don't care who you are. Protect it. There are situations that you may have been in, and see, this is how the enemy do. He always uses people who are close to you. So what you start to do is you start to say, yeah, but we've been friends for 30 years. Yeah, but we've been married for 20 years. Well, shoot, that's my daughter. That's, that's my son. That's my child. I don't care. That's a whole different human being if they grown. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look kids, you got to deal with that. But I'm saying, no, I'm sorry. I have to be protected because the minute I go out that door, I don't know what is going to happen when I'm in here. But what I can do is say, I'm going to be in an environment that is conducive to peace. When you are at peace with yourself, your blood pressure is lower. Your heart rate is more regular. You can sleep better. But when you are entertaining chaos, talking about people, things that are destructive, that wears at you. And let me say this to you. I'm not doing that. And what many of us will say, well, I do need to lose a couple pounds. And it wasn't that he was saying that to be mean. He just was pointing it out. And whether it's right or wrong. Okay. Let me say this to you. Stop throwing rocks when you live in a glass house. Okay. You calling me fat and you need to lose about 20 pounds yourself. Okay. But you think that that's big sexy. But with me, you too fat. Stop buying into that. Stop allowing people to be your dartboard. That they do things and then they run and hide. Oh, I ain't mean it like that. Listen, you gotta be in peace. And if you find yourself in a situation, you start, well, the sex is good and we be going on trips and I enjoy being with him, but he always, always comparing me with his exes and no. The minute a man start to say anything about you and somebody else, he gotta go. Because what he's doing is to make you feel bad about yourself. And you have survived too much hell to allow anybody to make you feel inferior, to question your self-worth. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. Well, he not putting his hands on me. Let me tell you something. Psychological abuse is equally as bad. One is more obvious. You got a black eye, a broken arm. Okay. One is obviously more obvious, but the other one is not. And what you start doing is letting that person erode your self-confidence to the point where you feel that you need this person to legitimize your self-worth. Oh, you guess what? What? I lost 5 pounds. Inch off an elephant. Huh? I just kidding. What? Little things. You know what? You beautiful, but I always like women with long hair. Oh really? Well, I'm not gonna go get me no weave, and I'm not gonna go get me no wig. But what I am gonna do is put you on block. See ya. Okay. Same goes for social relationships. If there's a pattern that you have to say things to hurt me, you can go. You go in love, but I'm not tolerating. Oh, you done got old and mean, and you just no. I'm older and I'm wiser. And that's how I feel. Jerome McMillan, please stop bashing men. Jerome, let me say this to you. Thank you so much for coming on my page. But the last that I checked, I think it's probably over 1 million Facebook people who have other pages. If you don't like my page, you are so free to go to someone else's. But that's just how things are. So thank you so much for your comment. And please feel free to leave my page. Back to what I was saying, ladies. You have to put yourself first. So many times people will say, well, you're being selfish. How many times have you put others' needs above your own? Your children need this. Your man need this. You do whatever it is for other people. You will go out you know what? I was going to get my nails done, but I'm not going to get my nails done because I got to go take such and such somewhere. And you constantly put yourself last. And you've done it so long, it becomes natural. Oh, that's okay. What were you going to do? Oh, nothing. I was going to get my nails done, but that's okay. I was going to get my feet done. No, I can reschedule. That's it. Seriously. I don't need to do that. And you constantly do it. My grandfather had 9 children and he sent them all to college. He had a 6th grade education. His wife had a 3rd grade education. Up until the day he died, he wiped his behind with 1 piece of toilet paper because he was so used to sacrificing for others. Okay? Then it became a way of life. You know what I'm saying? You do something so much for other people that you stop considering your own needs. And you think that's godly. No. That's being a fool. Stop putting the needs of others before yours. Even if you say, you know what? Well, I need you to take me to the airport. Can you? No. What, you got something to do? No. I just don't want to do that. You don't owe a person an explanation. You are grown. If you desire to, Manuel Wilson says, you must control your destiny. Nobody should have any power over you or your life. Here's the situation. You may decide, I am going to stay home all day in my pajamas. And if that's what I choose to do, I have the right to do that. You don't have to give people explanations. No, I'm not available. I'm sorry, I won't be attending your event. You ain't got to lie. No, it's just that simple. As I've indicated to you in previous times, everybody no matter how much y'all locked in, they gonna be in one casket, you gonna be in another. They gonna be in one urn, you gonna be in another. Y'all may be locked in life, but in death, it's separate. You have to be concerned about you, because ain't nobody else gonna worry about you. And put yourself first. There's some days I get up maybe about 11 o'clock. I do what I want to. I may stay in my pajamas until 3. Obviously, I'm retired and I, take calls from Bonders Law. But, I may decide, you know what? I don't feel that today. I have that right. For 30 years, I got up, got dressed, went to the court. Now I got to do that no more. Stop allowing people's emergency to become on your agenda. Listen, you are not God Jr. in that you can speak. You can't touch nobody and heal them. You can't breathe life into them. You can't breathe death into them. You got to worry about you. And you've done it so long that you are second and third responsibility. It just comes natural to you. I had a friend that called me, wanted to know about an issue. And basically the issue was about, her niece. And her niece, blah, blah, blah. I said, girl. You worrying about your niece in a whole nother state, worrying about getting a lawyer to help her. Baby, go buy you some tickets and go on you some trips. They got the little app where it'd be last minute flights, like 2 or 3 weeks before enjoy this. It's the whole big world. You worrying about somebody grown. You worrying about something grown. Look, let that go. Listen, let me say this to you. Pat Thomas Hamilton said, I think Jerome is outnumbered. He may be gone to bed. Bless his heart. Well, I understand. And I want people to know I'm not all men are evil and blah, blah, blah. But let's face it. There are bad apples that are men and there are bad apples that are women. But this platform is exclusively for my ladies. And when I come on, I'm talking to my ladies. Okay? I'm talking to my ladies. All right? Now, what they doing on somebody else's platform, that's not my business. But I'm talking to my ladies. Why? Because we have allowed society to train us to believe if we put ourselves last, that's a good thing. We're being selfless. You're being a fool. You got to worry about you. You got to take care of you. You got to make sure that you spend time with God. Sometimes I just cut everything off and say, Lord, I need a date. I just need to praise you. I need to read your word. I need to be with you exclusively. I need you to pour into me. I need that. I need that. I just need that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we have allowed society as women to control how we think about ourselves. And you got to stop doing that. Don't hurt nobody, but you got to protect you because no one else will. No one else is going to do that. And so as a result, you have boundaries. Now, I got a day off or I got a couple hours free. Some come up during that period of time, I'll consider doing something. But if not, I won't. I used to feel bad. I can't say no, even though I don't want to go. I don't want to attend. What will they think of me if I don't go? Well, what they think of me is their business, not my business. So I can't worry about that. I have to be worried about what I think about my own time. And that's just how things are. And people want to believe that you're being selfish. You're not. But what you have to be able to do is when you start to see these red flags and, always having something slick to say or, you know what I'm saying, and putting you down, demeaning, let me say this to you. That is a form of warfare. I appreciate everything you're teaching me. I asked you last week, I'm 56. Okay. Is it make anything wrong for having a vasectomy? Baby, let me tell you something. That's a personal choice. I don't get it. Let me say about me, where I am. If a person says, I want to wear an orange hat and a blue jacket and red shoes, baby, whatever you love, that is you. That's a good thing for you, okay? You got to live your own life your way, okay? So I don't have no comment on that. Whatever people want to do nowadays, I let them do it. I don't have a comment. Because what I realize is that my opinion don't matter. It's what you think of yourself. What you say about you, Natalie. It's not what you say. Because see, then when you give opinion, well, Vonda said, well, Natalie said, and then you get into the middle of some mess that you don't even belong. Baby, whatever floats your boat. If you want to dye your hair purple and you want to put an orange earring in your nose, hey, I like you like it, I love it. I'm into it like that at all. But what I am into is protecting my space and erecting boundaries and being able to honor the time that I spend with my God and that I spend with myself. And all I'm saying to you is, I used to think, oh man, let me check my calendar. Oh, I got 4 things in a 6-hour span. How am I going to do it? One's on the east side, one's on the west side, one's on the north side, one's on the south side. And I would force myself to show up because I was an elected official and because I didn't want people to let anybody down. And as a result, I would burn myself out. And I wouldn't be pouring into me. And now I'm at a point where I am pouring into myself. I can't show up to events really that my presence is not going to control whether the event goes on or not. You may be honored for me to be there, but if I don't show up, it's still going to go on. So if you love me, respect my time and my decision. And that's how you have to look at life. And let me tell you something, what I learned about life. When you begin to erect boundaries, people don't like you, they respect you. See, when I chased after them liking me, did that make you happy? Oh, I drove 25 miles each way just to show up because I just want them to be happy at my expense. I no longer make those decisions. And what they'll do is say, well, she didn't show up. You didn't show up to my event. Unfortunately, no, I did not. I hope it was a very nice event, though. It was. Oh, that's great. But I'm not going to put anything on my agenda that I don't want to do, because that's where I'm living. I'm living in that space right now. And so many times we've been programmed, especially as women, to go out of our way. I remember, going out of my way for leaving the bench, surprising someone I was dating by cooking a home cooked meal, and greens, mashed macaroni and cheese, roast, everything. They eat. They're like, oh baby, this was good, and I know I can cook, but they still cheating, because whether I can cook or not ain't gonna stop a person from doing what they want to do. So why should I put all of that toil on me, 2 and 3 hours in the kitchen, for you to say, this good, and the end result gonna be the same potentially anyway? And no. So I made a decision for myself about 5 years ago, maybe a couple of years ago. I didn't want to cook. So I don't cook anymore. I figure out what I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe once in a while I will cook, make a salad or something like that. Can cook. But I just chose that's what I wanted to do. What about when you're showing up at them and they're ungrateful? I'm done. Going out of your own way. You know what I would do is just, here I am. I done got off work and I'm at the market, because I don't believe in no canned and frozen greens. I don't do that. So I'm out here buying collards and mustards and turnips and kale and spinach, and cleaning them and cooking them, and then doing my roast, then doing a sweet potato. I'm throwing down. And it changed nothing anyway. Angela Britt, amen. People don't like it when you set boundaries. You are thank you so much. But let me tell you this, Angela. It came at an expense that I encourage others not to make. For 25 years, I felt compelled to attend events, to tolerate disrespect, because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I wanted everyone to like me. That was so important. Wow, such and such had something and I wasn't invited. I'm A-listed. I go to all the events. Wonder what happened. Baby, let me tell you something. If I get two requests a year, I'm doing good. But guess what? Life's still going on. I'm still getting up. I'm still breathing. User-friendly people. Marla. Exactly. As long as a person is getting a benefit from whatever it is that you have, then they will consider you. But when there's no longer a benefit, literally, and this is no lie, I had a guy friend, and I said, I called you, and you didn't call me back. He said, well, you're not a judge anymore. I said, okay. I was kidding. Baby, your name is do not answer. Simple. Because my value to you no longer exists, because I don't hold a position that you thought was deemed necessary or important in your life. Okay. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I got to judge over. So now, she's just an attorney, she ain't no different than nobody else. She just, whoa, sorry. So I'm okay with that. And I'm fine with that. But that, I'm just not into that. So the fact that I no longer, yes, Kathy, said it to my face. Hello, tapping in from Oakland, California, Felicity. What's up, baby? So when I share these things with you, I'm saying this not to be bitter. And if it comes across as such, well, a rose as any other name smells as sweet. But what people are not used to are women having boundaries. They're just not used to it. They're used to women going out their way to prove their worth. I drove 20 minutes to get your favorite dessert because I want to show you I'm down for you. I want to show you I'll ride with you. I want to show you my loyalty. And time again, you show this person your loyalty, but it doesn't make a difference. It's still not going to change the end result. And as a result, you are wearing yourself out trying to prove your worth to somebody, and it don't matter. What Patti LaBelle said, if you don't know me by now, what Teddy Pendergrass said first, she said, hey, if you don't like what I wear, how I smell, it don't matter, because there's nothing I can do that is going to make you believe I'm valuable. And that's right. Moral law. No more one-sided transactional relationships. Exactly. And people and women will wear themselves thin. I know I did. I want to show up to be that modern woman. This poor man doesn't have home-cooked meals. Well, he ain't losing no weight. He's still breathing. His kidneys working. Yes, my greens are better. But guess what? I'm not going to put all that time into cooking. So guess what? You go ahead and keep on eating what you eating, where you eating it from. Okay, go to the restaurant, get you a little side of green beans, some mashed potatoes, some macaroni, whatever, and spend $50. Because I can make the whole meal for $50, but I'm not going to be bothered because it takes too much of my time. Sharice Payne Johnson, you are so right. I have tried and I am tired. Wait a minute. You ready? You cook, you work all day. You cook this fabulous dinner and you looking like a snack. You looking good. I really should be applauded. I remember going into a store and this husband and wife, the husband, they were buying like a $10,000 stove. It was a Viking. And so you joked to the man. He said, my wife is going to buy this for our kitchen for aesthetic reasons. She's not going to use it. And so I said, I'm ear hustling. I'm like, what? And I said, your wife don't cook? He says, listen, my wife has cooked for 20 years. And at this point in time, if my wife don't want to cook no more, she don't have to. We go out to eat every day. And I tell my wife, you're not allowed to cook. But if you want your kitchen to be beautiful, you got that right too. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Julie Miss Brownlee, you got good sense, Vonda Evans. Men that want you, they will come after you. Girl, I do me. Folks don't appreciate Toledo, Ohio. And when they no longer can get a benefit from you, you are no longer included in their world, their invite list, their phone calls, because you have no value in their life. And that is fine. But at the same time, you got to understand it. I had a TIA, oh my goodness, 3 years ago. 9 months later, I was invited to my great niece's birthday party. I left in an ambulance after I passed out. I always did a large amount of cooking for family events. So did I, Angela. I had physical problems from falling, and my family never dropped off anything. Okay. I am concentrating on my health. I don't care what anyone says. I love me. And unfortunately, I'm glad that you're doing better. But unfortunately, in life, we have situations that have to wake us up. And that when God has, let me say this to you. It is 10:36 p.m. I do not know if God is going to let me see 11:36 p.m. That I no longer take the time that he has given me for granted. I no longer say, well, next week I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I gotta cancel this because I gotta do this. I don't make them kind of plans anymore. Every morning I wake up, I say, Lord, I thank you. I know that there is something left on this earth plane for me to do. And no matter what you may have encountered physically, Angela, you still have something to do on this earth plane. Because if you didn't, you will be called home. There is a birth date at a certain time, and then there is a death date at a certain time. You can't change either one of those dates or those times, but you can control what you do in between. One of the things that I think people probably consider when they're dying is, whoa, if I could have done this differently. Not could have I had more birthday parties or big fancy parties, or I could have gone and picked up people, or I could have attended events. If I could have done it different, I would have valued my time. I wouldn't have been drinking or smoking or going to different events that I didn't really want to be. I would really do it differently. I would spend time knowing my God, honoring him for allowing me to be here, and allowing him to choose to use me in a format that is going to be a blessing to a person. And sometimes, many times, you know how God uses you, and the blessing that you are to a person is by saying, no, I can't do it. That is the blessing from God, because maybe what God is telling them is that you got to figure this out for you. I'm not going to always be here. You have to figure this out. You are truly a blessing to us all. Encouragement. Amen. You are so great. You have to, let me tell you something. I'm reading in a newspaper, and a gentleman was a dentist, and he had patients waiting, and he got in a car accident and died. No matter who waiting on you in the operating room, in the dentist chair, when it's your time to go, you got to leave. And what you don't, you keep rushing and hustling time. Take that time to enjoy it. I walk every day 3 miles, and every day I see something different. I said, wait, I didn't see that yesterday. Not that it wasn't there, but I allow the scales to fall off my eyes. I now, when I walk, I used to keep my phone on. I put it on silent, on airplane mode. I got to take that time for me, because this trap, listen, this cell phone, it'll take your life quicker than anything else, worrying about other people's problems. Because guess what? If you ain't here, Angela, and I ain't here, they're going to have somebody else they're going to worry about their problems. And so I make these statements not based on fantasy, but based on the life that I lived and how I would go out my way to honor events and things for others. And at the end of the day, I was exhausted and worn out. And then I missed the time for me. I missed the 3 or 4 hours I'm supposed to be walking, because I done been to 3 or 4 events and I come home and just fall out. So now I'm very deliberate in the things that I attend. And if something is very important to me, I will go. But if it's something that I feel is going to infringe upon my personal time with me and God, or me alone, I say, I can't do it. I said, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm unavailable. I used to say, I'm so sorry. I can't. I say, I'm not available. I'm sorry, I'm not available. No. Well, did you have something else? No, I just can't do it. And so what will happen, are you ready, Angela? You stop getting those calls. You stop getting invited. And you stop getting acknowledged. Or she ain't going to do nothing for nobody. If you ain't talking about God or talking about them, or she bashing men, or talking to her ladies, or talking about Bonda's law, she won't be bothered. I ain't got time for that. Let her go. I don't care. That's fine with me as well. And I accept that. I look up people that I used to see that would comment on my Facebook. I don't even see them no more. God bless them. They don't unfriend me. I ain't even know. I find out. Listen, we're all running our own race. And if you have to be responsible for your race, and you can't allow what other people think of you or their disappointment to define you, you don't have. Now, if you got small kids, you have to show up. If you have children under 18, you got to show up. I'm talking about y'all that's grown. I'm talking about y'all that grandchildren 18. You grown. I'm talking about you growns. Well, you don't have a husband. You could. I could possibly do it, but I'm not. But I could do it, but I'm not. And I'm not going to apologize because I need me time. I need space for me. I'm 62 years old. Okay, I'll be 62, God willing, my birthday, September 18th. I got to be selective about what I do and the space that I do it in. But what I need you to do is recognize it's not going to get better. The shots that are taken are not going to get better. The comparisons don't get better. And when you see them, stop allowing them and overlooking them because you become immune to it. If you see, just say, for instance, my hand. If I pinch my hand and I just pinch it for a very, very long period of time, it won't hurt anymore because I become immune to the pain. So that happens when we're dealing with people who abuse us emotionally. You become immune to it. Oh, that's just their way. They don't mean no harm. They don't mean no harm. But they'll say that. But they don't mean that. What? They got a good heart, though. They got a good heart. No. I'm not allowing myself with your good heart to whatever, with your slick mouth and your good heart. You keep that moving. I'm not going to tolerate it. You are blessed in sharing what's in your heart with us. We appreciate you for this message. And there are many young women. I mean, I didn't make this decision or this realization until I was probably over 55. So if you are 55, 54, to all the way to 33, you can glean this information. You know, the one thing I love about the Kardashians, they were open enough to accept wisdom from their mama. That's why all them billionaires, they listen to their mama. Listen to people who have wisdom. Listen to them. You may not agree with their point of view, but at least consider it. And if you do that, you'll find you won't make the same mistakes. Because traditionally, what people older than you have encountered, you will encounter. I might encounter with Jimmy Joe. You might encounter with Deshaun. I might encounter with Mary Lou. You may encounter with Simone. The names change, but the game is the same. And that is to not respect people's boundaries because you want them to do what you want them to do, what you want them to do for you. That's the end game. I need you to show up for me and make this go away and handle this. I need that. As a lawyer, the minute I start talking about, I can definitely assist you, but it'll be this price. Well, you used to be a judge. You get a pension. You can't just help me, look out for me. No, because DTE ain't looking out for me. Okay. DTE ain't looking. Are you that woman that talks about having boundaries? You don't have to pay that $894 DTE bill. Let me tell you what we're going to do with that bill. This is what we're going to do with it. We're going to just throw it in the trash can. That's what we're going to do. Honey, I will be in the dark if I believe that. So I have to understand that although your situation is very unique and very troublesome, in order for me to assist you in that endeavor, there's a price tag that comes with my time that you, and my skill that you have to pay, or unfortunately, I can't assist you. And that's just it. And people are amazed that when you talk about stuff legal, free, or no, that's just information. Make people respect your time and your boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? Every time I go to the doctor, you know what they say? Whatever you're doing to keep your blood pressure down, you need to continue to do it. And I had to eliminate a lot of people in my life, whether I was their problem or they were my problem. The elimination makes my blood pressure normal. Okay, so if they was the problem or I was the problem, maybe they're glad I'm out their life. Maybe their blood pressure coming down. And I hope so. Okay? Because I don't want to cause nobody no harm. But I know that the people that I eliminated out of my life, my blood pressure is normal. And it's going to remain that way. Because what I learned is that it takes me 24 hours to worry about Vonda and her problems. Just Vonda. 24 hours, 7 days a week for me to worry. Yes, I'm ready. I've declined an invitation. They replied, we'll miss you. God bless you. She is registered at Amazon. Send her a gift. I haven't worked due to health reasons in a year. That's okay. God is the provider. These people are emotionally abusing me. I'm not even replying to such nonsense. There is a app here that you can put do not answer for a name. Okay, I have 58 of those people. I eliminate their name and I put do not answer. They are all millionaires. They'll be lucky to get a card. I have to handle myself and my son who is going to college. I got tired of being nice. I don't allow anyone to stress me. And what's so amazing, I was telling my doctor, well, I don't feel any different. He said, stress is a silent killer. The more you put on you and you worry about it, it's killing you. It's like putting a frog in a pot of water and slowly cutting up the heat. He gets used to the warm temperature. And before you know it, the more heat he has, the more it can kill him. And so what you have to do, Angela, is you eliminate these people in love. Don't be mad at nobody being vindictive and ugly. You release them in love. As my auntie used to say, I love you, but my hands can't reach you. I'm praying for you. I got angels and I'm going to dispatch them to protect you and to love you and to give you desires of your heart. But I'm not an angel. I can't be everywhere at every place. I ain't God Jr. I'm not omnipresent. I can't be in Rome and Detroit at the same time. But I can pray for you. And what prayer can't do, you don't need no way. You if God can't change that situation, honey, you do not need it. You don't need it. But what I would like to do in closing, ladies, because I went way over time. And see, when I be going way over time, people do not listen to it. They ain't gonna look at it either way because it's 59 minutes. But what I want to challenge us to do is become a sisterhood. A sisterhood of people who are there to support one another. And Carice Page Johnson, the Angela Britt, go to my page, Carice Page Johnson. What do we know about her? Discernment. Try the spirit by the spirit. Pick up jewels where you can. Start to make your family people who want what's best for you. Eliminate those people who are bound by you because they have the same DNA. You know, blood makes you related, loyalty makes you family. So we have a circle of influence of people that we can glean something from, not something that we are exchanging phone numbers or going to people's houses, but something that we can glean to, that we check on Clarissa's page. You come on my page, I come on yours, and you know what I'm saying? Or you post something meaningful. And what we do is the Bible says iron sharpens iron. And so when we see that other people have gone through similar traumas or situations in life, we may be able to go through their page and maybe something will pop on and say, wow, that was very helpful. That was very good. I like that. And in that way, we make one another stronger. That's what we need to do. See, this is what tell you what happens. And the enemy, ooh, he is cunning, but he been here a long time. By isolating you, he can overcome you. But when you begin to be around people who are like-minded, what do you mean be around people? Go on their page, see what they got to say, go to other people's page, and then begin to build a network of people who you think have the same views as you. I can't tell you how many people I have made friends with that I've never physically saw through Facebook. I have had some friendships for years. They'll come on like you did, and I'll go on their page, and before you know it, we done LinkedIn, and they said, girl, I like what you do. And you know what I'm saying? It's wonderful. Like me, Anthony Green. So it's just, you know what I'm saying? And it's good. And before you know it, they inbox you and they'll share something. Well, look at this. And I just sent this to you, and this might be helpful. And before you know it, you have become friends or family. Facebook can become friend book, and friend book can become family by having people who have views and similarities similar to yours, or that can help you. I just want to say this, my girl, Dr. Mack. Oh my God. Dr. Melanie Macklin. So let me tell you about Dr. Mack, the dermatologist, love her. I be coming on and I be talking my little boss lady stuff. And she was like, girly, I like what you're saying. You know, I'm a doctor and I'm about my bread. And, she'd like what I say, and I would like what she said. And she came on my page and we ended up sharing each other's phone numbers. I never physically met her, ever, but I was locked in with her, locked in. And it was really weird because normally, she comment on my page and I hadn't seen her page. And it was a couple weeks ago, Friday, and God just put her on my heart so heavy, and I began to search for her. And I found out that she had passed. But here's someone I never had physically met, who I felt then and I feel now. She was like family. That girl, we was locked in. Anything I needed, if I said, girl, what do you think about this? Boom, she gonna give me some good advice. She called me, girly, what you think about this? Boom, I'm gonna give her some good advice. When I seen her number come up, I was like, oh, that's my girl. I got it all from Facebook. And it was a privilege and an honor to know her. She was so wise, loving. But those are relationships that we can establish. But the enemy will say, I don't know her. She might be trying to get my identification and become me. No. Discernment. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying immediately give nobody your number, your house number, but through time, through time. One thing I know is that when we ask God for discernment, the Holy Spirit is going to tell us, you can trust this person or you can do this. And before you know it, you understand what I'm saying? This person has become an ally, but you got to be able to let down your guard. And what we do, ooh, this is a good one. Well, if your family messed over you, how can you trust somebody that ain't related to you? Let me tell you something. Family can do more destruction than friends ever could. Okay. Because you continuously let a person who is considered your family come back because you are biologically related or you're related or you've had social relationships and interactions. You grew up together. And so therefore you feel that there's a link. But then you'll find that there are people that you don't know. This is the day and age of technology, baby. Let me say this to you. I can meet somebody on here. I'll never even lay eyes on them. I just shared you my story about Dr. Matt. That was my girl. That was my go-to. Okay. We was 10 years strong. Okay. This was my ride. So I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, but here are people that God allowed me to come into my life to iron sharpen iron, baby. And I'm glad 2 and 3 and 4 hour conversations. You know what I'm saying? On both sides. And it all started from Facebook. So I'm here to say that there are some relationships. There are people that like minded. It's what, probably 1 billion people on Facebook. My phone off. I can't check it. It's a whole bunch, I know. And of those people, many people have similar experiences. I can say this traditionally, y'all wouldn't be here if you didn't. It's got to be something I'm saying that you like. And then when it's something that other people saying that they like, I tune in. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to tell the young man, baby, let me tell you something. It's a million more platforms you can go to. Mine ain't the only one. I ain't shit. Mark Zuckerberg ain't my friend like that. Ain't shutting me down. I ain't be listen. You can go to somebody else, click her off. I block her. I don't never want to see Vonda Evans, and I'm all right with that. But what I'm saying to you is, you got to start opening yourself up. This is a new day and age. You know how we used to meet people at the club. You don't know nobody at no club. Well, I went to the club. I went to the UBQ and I met this person and I gave my number. We went out. Okay, so now that we have internet, it's almost a similar way of meeting people. But what you have to do, you have to use discernment. You have to say, Lord, show me, is this person for me? You know what I'm saying? Or is this person not? What does this person want? You know what I'm saying? And if all they want to do is say, let me help you on your journey, I see where you're going. And if it's something I can say, something I can do to encourage you on that path, I'm for it. Let me say this to you. Clarice Page Johnson, well, Vonda Evans, you'd be surprised that I am, fam. I am, and my family have been following you for years, and thank you for being a strong woman. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, okay? They'd be like, that's my girl. What's up, girl? And sometimes my people, they don't even comment on this. But what I'm saying to you is, iron sharpens iron. And what the enemy wants us to do is to suffer in silence, to believe that we are the only people that are going through what we are going through, to not be transparent and use our testimony. The things that I share with you are my testimony. These are things that God has allowed me to encounter, to overcome, to defeat me, to slow me down. I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it so that you can make a detour around it, because I want you to be better than me. I want you to stand on my shoulders and reach up to the sky. That's how I am. I don't never want nobody to do bad. I want people to do better. And so if it's something that I say that encourages you or uplifts you, pass it on. You know what I'm saying? You see some on my Facebook, share it. I don't care about stuff like that, because we just trying to get through this thing called life. And you know what? I just want to say this, and I'm going to jump off. Life is a funny thing. It's a funny thing. Here I was, asleep, knocked out. I had one of them, the big recliner chairs. I'm like, knocked out. And my dog barking, and it wakes me up. And I said, you know what? I gotta jump on live right quick because I was asleep. And I thank God for the intrusion of my dog waking me up, because I would have missed this opportunity to share meeting with Ellen and Anthony and Clarice and Angela. I would have missed that. All Kathy, I would have missed it just because I needed rest. So I'm so honored, Marla. I'm so honored that God used the raccoon to come and get my dog going to wake me up. Because sometimes what the enemy will do is we won't take the opportunity that God has given us. And so if I've said something that has poured into you, I want you to think about it. Sometimes I'll listen to somebody and it'd be like one word. I mean, it might be one sentence. I'm like, wow. Iron sharpen iron. I'm like, I got just one sentence can change your life. That's one thought. Wow, that's so powerful. So powerful. And we have to start doing that and stop limiting ourselves about how we get information. You know what I'm saying? Hell, ChatGPT might put you on game. Okay, I might put you on game. Somebody who you think is ratchet might put you on game. Let me say this one to you. That was a divine appointment of the red flags. Thank you, Kathy. Let me tell you something. I'm on the bench. And this guy, they playing a recording of a guy, street guy. And he said, youngin, the only difference between me and you, I don't trust them phones. But I'm going to tell you something, youngin. What's understood don't need to be spoke of, especially on them phones. Here I am on the bench, and I wrote it on my blotter. What's understood don't need to be spoke of. And I have adopted that saying from someone who was giving wisdom to a young person that was on trial, and I got a hold of it. You see how that is? Now, I could have been, I have a degree. I can't attribute what he says to my life. But let me tell you something about wisdom. You can't go to school and learn that. Wisdom is lived. And here that man, wherever he is, gave Judge something that I've shared with you on many a times. And so don't limit where you can get knowledge from, where you can get wisdom from, because each of us has a gift. Because if not, we would not be here. God don't waste his time. When he call you home, it's over with. Rap-Ola City. Okay? So that person may have a divine appointment just to say something to you, Angela, and pour into your life. And you like, what? Like that man did me. Okay, Jewel, let me get my butt off. I'll go sleep. Okay, because you get sleepy, then you don't go to sleep at 3 or 4 o'clock. Then I ain't church in the morning. Then I'll be late. So thank you so much. God bless you all, ladies. And as I've indicated, this is a safe place. We are going to share our ideas. And I challenge you to say no 3 times this week and establish boundaries. When we come back next week, God willing, I want you to share that with me. 3 instances this week where the enemy, because you fool now, tried to creep in and you stood your ground godly and you said no. I want you to share that with me because I know it's going to happen. I want you to share that with me next week. God bless you. I love you. And good night.
In a car accident, call Vonda's Law and get the money you deserve. A name you can trust.